Well, good evening. Welcome to Bedtime Stories with me, Pastor Michelle. Today is Tuesday, December 15th, and let's start out with our bold woman of the day, our night. So we have Nina Simone. She was a pianist, singer, and activist. So she was born Eunice Wayman. She grew up in a home where music was all around. A prodigy with love for Bach, Brahms, and Beethoven, she dreamed of becoming the first Black concert pianist. Activism was as much a part of her music as well. At 12, when her parents were removed from the front row of one of her recitals to make room for a white couple, she stood up and refused to play until the injustice was corrected. The event left her hardened and distrustful, but demonstrated the power of activism through music. As an adult, financial troubles and discrimination got in the way of her studies, so she began giving piano lessons. She soon learned she could earn double the money by performing in nightclubs in Atlantic City. When nightclub owners informed her that playing the piano was not enough, she had to become a singer. She took the name Nina Simone and began to sing. Was there any way of knowing then that hers would become one of the most iconic voices in the history of music? On stage, her musical genius really showed. She combined different genres and styles, rejecting labels and defying categorization. She mixed jazz, folk music, and blues, and always had a soft spot for classical piano. She used her music to stand up for justice, writing songs in response to the assassination of civil rights leader Medgar Evers in the Birmingham church bombing. She became a leading voice in the civil rights movement while her songs served as its soundtrack. Well, good for her. Nina Simone. So let's dive into our Disney story. And tonight it comes from Monsters, Inc. and it's called Monster Laughs. So Sully was worried. As the new head of Monsters, Inc., it was his job to make sure the power levels stayed high. But none of the monsters seemed to be getting enough laughs. Mikey, we got a power problem, Sully said to his friend. It's been a year since we switched from scare power to laugh power, and the monsters aren't funny anymore. All their routines are old and dull. Mike thought for a moment. I got it, he said, snapping his fingers. I'll write some new jokes for all the monsters. Mike spent the next few nights writing jokes and inventing gags. He made a huge list, and he gave his jokes to the other monsters, but things didn't go so well when the monsters took jokes into the kids' rooms. A monster called Polly tried one of Mike's jokes on a little girl. Why did the one-eyed monster have to close his school? Because he only had one pupil. The girl just gave Polly and his 16 eyes a blank stare. They're terrible, Mike said. I need to round them up for some practice. If they can learn to perform the jokes just like me, Monstropolis's power levels will go through the roof. But Mike, that's the problem, Sully said. The other monsters can't perform the jokes like you because they're not you. The next day, the monsters were feeling downhearted. Suddenly, a very tall monster called Lanky slipped on a banana skin. When he landed, his arms and legs were all tangled up. Lanky started to laugh. Soon all the monsters were laughing. It was great. Mike thought for a moment. That's it. Instead of copying me, you just have to be yourself. That's how to be funny. That's right, Sully said. If you've got 16 eyes, use them. If you have really long limbs, use them. Be proud of who you are. A few days later, the laugh floor buzzed with activity. Behind wardrobe doors, kids roared with laughter. Great job, Mikey, said Sully. Power levels are going back up. So that's a good quote. Be proud of who you are. And I repeat that because it's an important thing to remember. So, sorry, I got choked up. God bless you all. That was a really weird sounding cough, wasn't it? Stay safe out there, my friends.